The video for April the 17th, 2017 is Resurrecting the Christ Within Us. Traditionally, Easter has been the day the so-called Christian world, in the so-called Christian world, where the resurrection of Jesus Christ is celebrated. Frankly, unless that Christ is resurrected within us, it is virtually meaningless for us. It's hard to tell what is really happening on this planet with so much contradictory information being promulgated everywhere, mainstream and alternative. If ever the world needed a rebirth of truth, we need it now at a time when many of us are doing our best to awaken and to awaken others. As for me, I feel very tired, even drained this morning. I was dreaming of things I have done throughout my life that failed from the perspective they did not materialize the kingdom of the goal. Wait a minute. They did not materialize. The goal of heaven on earth fell short of hopes and expectations. I woke up feeling somewhat hopeless. I still do not understand why it is so difficult to give birth to the new world I have envisioned throughout my life. Why do the lies seem so much more powerful than the truth of that still small voice within us? Yes, I've been awake for well over an hour already, and it's only what? It's 5:23 right this second as I look at the computer, the clock on the computer. And I've been, before I even got out of bed, I was laying there just pondering the whole situation, realizing that this is Easter Sunday morning where I am. In some parts of the world, it's probably already the next day. And of course, this is the video for Monday, actually, is what it'll go up as, the 17th, not Easter Sunday. But in any case, I'm pondering the whole situation of my life, and even more importantly, our life as humans living on this planet and what we're going through. And many of us recognize that the world has been taken over by beings that do not tell the truth. Just look at the political establishment, look at the mainstream media, even look at the alternative media, where there's still a lot of the same people that are on the mainstream media propagating their same litany of lies to all of us. And it's everywhere. We're inundated with all of these falsehoods. And, you know, many people, for example, were very hopeful that Donald Trump would bring real change to the world, but it doesn't appear so. His family seems to be in favor of Israel, and Israel is the problem. It's not the solution, folks. Those of you that have been inundated with the idea that somehow the biblical nation of Israel is what we see here on earth today, I don't know if the nation of Israel was ever true. I don't know if the Old Testament, there's good things in the Old Testament, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if the overall story of it is true. You know, I just don't see it, because the God of this world is not a good God. A good God would not have allowed the dominance of evil to take over a planet for thousands and thousands of years, folks. We're not talking about something that just started in our lifetime and we're dealing with it now. No, we're talking about something that has been going on and on and on. And if anything, it's been getting worse and worse and worse for us as humans and from our human experience. And it's not an illusion. It's the reality. Again, I keep saying it over and over. It's the reality we have to deal with. It doesn't matter what labels we call to escape the reality of it. The reality of it is we don't live in love. We live in apprehension of what are they, the government, the people that claim rulership, what are they going to do to us? Again, I did not expect the day that they came and arrested me for driving without a license in my own home when I had an international driving permit, which I thought was good internationally. There's so many things that have occurred in my life that just, as I regurgitate them and go over them in my mind, they just don't make sense to me. Because, as I've said, I've believed in Jesus since I was a little kid. And I believed that love was the most important thing. And not just to love those that I agreed with, but to search and find common ground with those that had a different belief system, those that were Buddhists, those that were Hindus, those that were, yes, Jews and Muslims and atheists even. And I've tried to find a way to build bridges and to increase our hopefulness, but not just hopefulness, but the reality that we seek, actually watching it come into manifestation. It isn't happening, folks. It isn't happening. And it isn't going to happen with Donald Trump. I'm sorry to disappoint you Trumpites, but it isn't going to happen there either. Someone said that that Trump is the Illuminati's, or I should say the Rothschilds' choice, whereas Hillary was the Rockefellers' choice. Two factions of the Illuminati. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know what truth is anymore, except to say that that still small voice, I still recognize that as the truth, the Christ within me, the goodness within me, the desire within me to right wrongs and to expose evils so that we can correct them, not just so that we know what they are. Knowledge alone is not enough. Knowledge has to be followed by something happening, by action being taken. And it doesn't look like action is being taken. Yes, there are people waking up. There are people becoming more aware of the situation in which we find ourselves. Nevertheless, the same cabal, whichever faction of it is in charge, seems to be calling the shots. They seem to be controlling the news of what's really happening. And we don't see what's happening behind the scenes. That has not come into the forefront. Now, there's promises that it will. There's promises that extraterrestrial beings or angels or whatever are actually playing a role to interfere. There's promises that they've stopped the ability of the establishment to wage war. They're not going to allow war to happen. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. It's at the doorstep right now. The troops are being amassed and money is being spent on moving those troops in different locations, especially around Western Russia, in the Ukraine and other places. We see all this posturing going on our planet. And where is the Easter? Where is the resurrection? Where is Christ and the Messiah and the Buddhic nature? Where is the good coming into a place of even equality, let alone dominance? I mean, it hasn't even reached equality yet. So I look at these things and I would like to have a more uplifting message. But my dreams did not allow me to have that as I woke up. And as I shifted from what I was going to talk about, I thought yesterday, which I didn't write down, but it came out, the Easter message came out different than I expected. Anyway, thank you folks for listening, and please pray that God will actually do something. Thank you. Namaste.